Hello, Taurus. Welcome to the Plaid Sheep Oracle. We have a different arrangement here today because Jupiter has fallen asleep in my chair and I am not a monster. So, interestingly, I sort of decided to do it really different. And maybe that's part of the message, perhaps. I have done the reading in this direction before, but I've kind of laid it out as normal sideways. And this time I had the impulse to lay the decks out vertically. And we'll see if as we go, maybe there's some things going on sideways too. We'll see. We will see. There certainly is a sense here, Taurus, of change, and perhaps radical change. We begin with the Rose Oracle, appropriately for you. Venus, your guide, is in Sagittarius at the moment. And we have the return. A new story. You decide. Alignment. It's coming together. And when I think of the return, I also think of the sort of coming out of the underworld. If you've been on some sort of underworld journey. And maybe you have, it's interesting for you and the other fixed signs. With Pluto having been moving through Capricorn. For you, he was moving trine. And that's an easy flow of energy, which can be, right, it can be really beautiful. It can also be a lot. And now he's moving into Aquarius, which squares your sign. So now it's the fixed signs that are going to get squared and opposed, where previously it was the cardinal signs. So there's something about a return from somewhere that you've been. It may have been an underworld journey. It may have just been a period, a fallow period, a period of questing. The visible underlying is the wastelands. It says sustainability, slow down, tend to your garden. I'm actually seeing it as you, right? You're this figure folded over, kneeling on the earth, and this water is flowing towards you. So it's as if you were a seed and this water is arriving and you can, open up, because right below that, we have the bud, which says potential, promise, it's about to happen, keep going. The invisible underlying is trust the seasons. Everything changes, cycles of life, transition, growth, yeah? So if you've been in a fallow period or in a period maybe of planting, Uranus has been passing through Taurus since solidly since 2019, and he's going to continue there. He doesn't leave completely until 2026. So he takes some steps into Gemini next year. And you could think of Uranus kind of like a plow, right? Turning up, tilling the soil of Taurus. Perhaps bringing things to the surface, revealing things, infusing energy and air into the soil. That's one of the things that earthworms do. They aerate the soil. All of their tunnels and their passages create spaces for air to pass through. So this energy of, right, of something, having been, breaking through the surface. And there is a lot of water in this reading. There's this water, and then we get more water. But the first thing up is the Magician. So regardless of exactly what this water is and exactly what your seed looks like, there is power, there is manifestational power. Below it, we do have patience, but also the perfected work. And I'm seeing now the Knight, both the Knight and the Princess of Discs. So there is this, right, there is an earthy underlyingness. The unseen underlying here is the Eight of Pentacles, mastery. So whatever you've been doing, Taurus, up until this point, and it may not have, I imagine that it didn't actually feel fallow, that it necessarily. I think that probably there's been turbulence, there's been anxiety, there may have been fear, there may have been struggle with things. Places where there was stuckness are now being touched and activated. But all of this has been to the good. Then we have the Queen of Cups. Sensitivity. Really learning your own brand of sensitivity. Generally, when people talk about the signs, they talk about the water signs as being, the most psychic or the most sensitive. And I don't think that that's true. I think it's just that with the water signs, because water is more mobile, it may be something that comes a little more easily. Right? It's more visible, perhaps, as the movement of the tides of the water is more visible than the fact that the earth is also pulled by the moon. We just don't see it happening. So you don't let anybody tell you, Taurus, that because maybe you don't have water sign placements that you're not psychic or sensitive. Every sign has its path to sensitivity, to psychic information, to connectedness with the other world. And you are right opposite Scorpio. So you have this connection there to a sign that does go deep. So you may have been discovering your sensitivity, discovering your ability to read the room, to read other people's emotions, to meet somebody and really know where they're at, to locate them, to know, kind of what's up with them. Where are they coming from? Where do they stand at the moment? And then we have Judgment. This energy of taking off, of, kind of it's time. The trumpet sound. This full moon that's coming up on November 15th, if you're watching this when I post it, is conjunct Uranus. The moon will be at 24 degrees of Taurus, and Uranus is at about 25. So this spirit of change is right in there. The spirit of something awakening, right, of the trumpet sounding. And then we have the moon, more of this mysterious, otherworldly energy. There are certainly secrets here. All will not be revealed out of the gate. You have made a lot of progress for yourself. You are more sensitive, more aware, more in touch with yourself and with the other world energies. All right, you're taking in this water, but you're not going to have all the answers. There is these first steps, and I think, you know, this is just kind of true forever, that we never know the full story. And would we really want to? That would be kind of boring if we knew the full story every time. So there is this level of uncertainty. And so we have the Five of Swords. That you may still feel this. Some anxiety, some mental turmoil, a little bit of, maybe occasional mental defensiveness. We have several of these kind of challenging cards that came out. And I was prompted to pull sort of little clarifiers from the Animal Spirit Oracle deck. And what came out for the Five of Swords is this Nightingale spirit, which says love is all around, right? So we have this, right, this bee that seems to be impaled or, is having issues with these swords. But there is that green, right? The green energy is all around. Love is all around. So if you find yourself in this Five of Swords energy, perhaps because of the uncertainty, remind yourself that love is all around. And not just love, but our next card here is power. With the dragon. And certainly Uranus has, right? Dragon energy has some Uranus in it. That, fire, that suddenness, that transformative power of dragon energy. Below that is the Standing Stone's passage, right? There you are in your red outfit, ready to move into that which moves you. But there may be, right, a tiny moment of hesitation there as you get ready. And actually right below that, I'm just seeing now, is chaos. But also playfulness. The unseen underlying, although I don't know how unseen it is this uncertainty. But, this card, it says uncertainty, but it's so lovely, this pathway that she's looking down. There's this little deer, and there's butterflies, and there's sunshine. So it's unknown, but it's not, some deep, dark cave where you can't see anything and it's hard to breathe, and, right? It's open and pretty. So it may be that the unknown, to change the relationship with the unknown so that it's not darkness. It's not that the unknown isn't frightening, right? That it's more like pure potential, like presence, right? You have a wrapped present. It's an unknown. You are uncertain about what is in the present, but it's a gift. It's something lovely that somebody got for you. And so then we have this energy. It says purification, but I'm more interested in this, right, in the lightness of this fairy. That there's this playful attitude. You know, and there is this winter landscape, and whether you're in the northern hemisphere or not, winter, you know, can feel frightening. I think there is an ancestral thing that happens with winter, that it can seem like a frightening period because, right, things aren't growing, you know, you have the food that you have. But she's perfectly happy. You know, she's got her bit of evergreen. She's, you know, got her glowing light. She's enjoying the space, seeing its beauty. And then we have the reflecting pool's stillness. Here where she sees her swan aspect in the water. So you may be seeing your own swan aspect, seeing the swan aspect of other things. You know, situations can be ugly ducklings too. Ooh. That was me dropping something, which fortunately didn't break. Right, so situations can be ugly ducklings too. If we don't give them a chance to unfold, they may seem like a problem, and then it turns out that they're actually something great. And then we have bear spirit healing. That's kind of what it's been all about. That it has been healing, that even those things which were difficult were healing, but the joy is healing too. That healing doesn't have to come only through, you know, a dark night of the soul kind of energy. Knight of Pentacles here on the dragon. So I think you may be seeing yourself differently. It's possible, you know, that you've been thinking of yourself in those stereotypes of Taurus. Of, you know, maybe stolid or stubborn or slow to move, slow to change. And you're beginning to see yourself differently, that you don't have to wear any of that. That you can have that Taurus stability, that you can be stable and reliable and fertile. But you can also be quick. You can be magical. You can be sensitive. You can have all of this gorgeousness, all of the movement of this dragon. And below that, just confirming it, we have the Chariot. And also the Hermit. Oh, and I'm going to go one more with the Queen of Swords. And then I'm going to go one more after that with Strength. So that all of these energies are possible for you. That you're not stuck in just one mode of being. In part because Taurus is more complex than we often give it credit for, but also because you've got other stuff going on, not just Taurus. You're carrying all the signs within you. The bottom of the deck, the Page of Swords, right? The novice, the seeing things anew, seeing yourself more as this dragon energy. If you've, been thinking of Taurus as the bull or the cow, perhaps you can see yourself as the dragon instead. I was only going to show this, but as I was shifting the decks around, laying it out, the Ace of Cups showed itself, so I had to. We love the Ace of Cups here on the channel. Your own personal grail, as well as the grail of the cosmos. So the wheel of fortune turning. Things changing. That might be another thing that you've absorbed, that stuff doesn't change, or that you have to force it to change. You have to act on it in a physical way, like you'd have to go up to the wheel and crank it before it would change. But I think you're learning that that's not the case. That you have more flexibility, more sensitivity, more energetic power than you think. Because we also have the Knight of Cups here, headed for the Grail. And more night energy. More movement. And more water. More emotional, psychic, imaginal energy. Uranus is also in this little dance with Neptune and Pisces and Pluto. And they're going to stay in that little dance as they all move. Pluto is the first. He moves into Aquarius fully on the 19th of November. Neptune does a little dance next year between Pisces and Aries, and then moves in there fully in February of 2026. And then I don't know exactly when Uranus is fully in Gemini. It might be similar, maybe like March of 2026, maybe. But there's this movement, and so they stay in this little triangle together. Uranus and Pluto trine, and then Neptune at the top. And it's this, right? There's so much change possible, transformative, deep, deep transformative change that is created through imagination, through dreams, through love, through this water element of Neptune, even after he's moved into Aries. So there's this deep possibility that we're all part of, Taurus. And that you may be kind of at the cusp of. You may not be used to the idea that you could initiate, that you could be at the forefront of something. But that may be about to happen. That Taurus will be at the forefront of something because of this little triangle, because of this Uranian energy. So then we have the devil. And this is a very sort of sad devil. You know, you're here underneath, and the devil has your heart. Right. So you're, it's like you're cut off from your own heart, from your own grail. But I think that is what has been, because the card that came out to clarify it is the hummingbird spirit, be here now. Which is to say, this devil is the past. And if you're tempted to slip into the past. Right? The power is now. You are here now. I was saying to Cancer that it feels like we should really leave the past completely, even the good memories, for the moment. I don't think it means that we should just throw everything away. Certainly we shouldn't throw away, right, things that we've learned, skills, wisdom, experience. But I think we don't want to dwell at all in images of the past, even the good ones. I think we do want, right, this energy of growth, an energy of innocence, of youthfulness, right? One could be, 90 years old, but very youthful. It's not about the chronological age. It's about how you feel within yourself, within your body, how you see yourself. Do you see yourself as this powerful dragon filled with vitality and fire, as someone who can channel this water energy, this imaginal energy? We have here at the end the Ace of Swords. And this feels to me today very much like the sword in the stone. That it's waiting for you to go and pull it. To accept the challenge, accept this new space. But that you have to make the choice, right? You have to choose to pull the sword from the stone. It can't be done for you. Source of fire, that it is within you, right, within your own hands, that as the dragon, you are a source of fire. Below that, we have this Ace of Pentacles where, right, you're the source of this pentacle, right? You are the magician. And on the bottom of the deck is the Emperor. Rushing forward. This initiatory energy. Leading the way. There is something here about Taurus leading the way. I mean, maybe it's all the fixed signs, actually. Because there's been a ton of Leo energy showing up everywhere. There's this Taurus sense of leading the way. The Scorpio readings for a long time have been about Scorpio sort of becoming lighter and brighter and more joyful. Right? There may be something, right? Something in these shifting energies that are happening, these outer planets shifting, that is giving signs, something new. So there's something about Taurus leading the way. And then we have the Lovers. We actually have the Lovers, Justice, and the World. And I don't think of this world as being particularly about endings, right? Because we have this opening that's happening, right? There's these two sort of antelope creatures meeting, and their meeting is opening up, right? Like this tear in the continuum, this passageway in the timelines, passageway into new spaces. So I think that maybe you need to get comfortable, Taurus, with leading the way. That this, right, that Uranus's passage is calling for Taurus to lead the way. And I don't know exactly what that means. Hopefully it will unfold as we go. The bottom card here is another uncomfortable card. It's the Three of Air, the Three of Swords, this bear on a small ice floe. If you feel as if you don't quite know which way to go, there doesn't seem to be solid ground in any direction. You know, I have a lot of Taurus energy. And somebody once said to me, you know, life is a series of stepping stones. But when you get on a new stone, you think it's an island. And I thought, oh, it's true. And I think there can be a Taurus thing. Stereotypes are true because there is, or stereotypes hang around because there is truth in them. And it is true that Taurus can be really like comfortable energy. Energy that doesn't like to change speed. Certainly energy that does not like to be forced into change. But when you lead the way, Taurus, then it's a totally different thing. The clarifier card for this Three of Swords, where you are unsure, do I go? Do I really go? It doesn't look solid over there. I'm sort of used to the cardinal signs paving the way, and then I'm gonna go. We have Eagle Spirit. Spirit has your back. So the energies are there for you, Taurus. Formal advice. And that was just 3322 on the timer. Four of Swords. Right? Asleep. But right below that is the Knight of Pentacles. So I'm actually going to say that this Four of Swords is not you. You are the Knight of Pentacles. And you are approaching someone else. You are going to be the initiator of this person being woken up. And again, I don't know what that means. It might be in a spiritual sense. It could be that you're, you know, that Taurus energy is going to go out there and say a bunch of stuff that's meant to, you know, enliven, to, right, to wake people up. It could be someone in particular in your own life. It might be the company that you work for. You know, your own children or your parents. The bottom of the deck has the last uncomfortable card. The Five of Wands. And what came out with that, very interestingly, is this seahorse spirit, watch and wait. So I think this has to do with other people, right? Because we have this sense of you being the initiator, of you showing up to wake up this Four of Swords person. Don't get caught in this Five of Wands energy. You're not here to force anybody into anything. You're not going to drag people kicking and screaming into a new space. You're going to show up. You're going to deliver what you need to deliver. And then you're going to move on. Or, possibly you will step back. Just as it took you time, right? Time spent in the wasteland, time spent on this journey that you are now returning from. Other people need time too. That's a stereotype, right? The zeal of the newly converted, right? Someone who's maybe, quit smoking or quit drinking and then becomes an evangelist for this and really, goes about trying to make people do what they did. You don't want to do that. Because you wouldn't, right? You wouldn't want people doing that to you. You know what that feels like, trying to be forced into change. Deliver the message and then back off. So we have strength reappearing. Both this Leo energy, but also there's kind of this lion has he has sort of a bear feeling thing here, right? This feels like this, right? You experience this healing for yourself, and now you're going to provide it for other people, but you're going to do it, Page of Wands, gently, right? You're not showing up as the Knight of Wands or even the King here, who, the knight who might come riding through. It's the Page, this innocent energy. That energy of playfulness, of fun, of encouraging people to be playful, of it not being so serious, right? Of seeing the swan, of, feeling light, of maybe, enjoying the moonlight, enjoying the mystery, doing things out of love, doing things from a space of passion and creativity. Then we have both the Empress and the High Priestess. So that you are going to embody both of these energies, Taurus. Right? The Empress is totally familiar to you. It's Venus energy. Fecundity, growth, manifestation, earthiness, right? This water pouring into the space, nurture, growth. And then the High Priestess, that's kind of all of this Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups, Moon, justice, dragon energy of the other world, of spirit, of imagination, right? Of Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, hanging out together, doing magic, making it all available, the power to see, the power to, the power here with the Magician to not really foresee the future, but foretell it, right? In the sense that you are choosing. I am telling what the future will be, to foretell rather than to predict, to write the story and write it in conjunction with spirit and with source, right? That's that dragon energy. The, they kind of have all elements within them, dragons, right? They're very physical and earthy, but they fly, so they've got air and then they've got fire. But they're also kind of, right, snake-like. They have this reptilian arrangement, and in Eastern philosophy, they are often water dragons. So there's this sense, too, also of the Magician, of utilizing all the elements, of really learning the scope of your power, and how Taurus holds it all together. Oh, Taurus, to be the initiator. I hope you're ready. I think it'll be pretty cool for Taurus to lead the way. I wish you the very, very best. And I will see you next time, Taurus. So long.